Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls, to Marseille Monday. And today I will be reading with the tarot of Pierre and Madenié. This is a Eve Renault reproduction. And because we are in the first decan of Cancer, this has a Two of Cups association through Golden Dawn associations. And I know I'm not reading with a Golden Dawn deck, but it just feels really fitting that all of today's questions are relationship questions. And I'm kind of excited to see how this tarot responds to that. Let's begin with the relationship of N and S. And this couple, the S part of this couple, has reached out to get a feeling for what's going on here, because this is a relationship that has stopped and started a couple of times. And as always, I ask, this message be in the highest, for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. This is a really interesting response. It makes me wonder if there is a bit of a power play between the couple. This is a heterosexual couple, one man, one woman, justice. Wow, these are big cards. There is karma at play here. I feel like these two likely have big lessons to work out together. They have not, this is not the first kick at the can that they've been together. Lady Justice sits center. And it's always interesting because I did lay the cards out 1, 2, 3 today, which is not my usual style. And maybe I'll have a look at them in the other position. But I think she needs to sit there in the center of this reading. So we have an 8, and regardless of the 8 in tarot, I think of that energy of the lemniscate, the movement of energy, the flow of energy, and then that flows into the number 10, into the Wheel of Fortune. So either this relationship is a changing, or this relationship is about learning to be more in the flow of life, not to be so rigid. That was really interesting, my first impression here about who is the king of baton. Is it S or is it N? And do they both have issues with giving up the baton? I suppose you could describe this couple as a power couple. And maybe one of their greatest lessons is that they will need to learn to pass that baton back and forth. They will need to learn to step in and to step out of the roles. As different situations arise, they will need to learn to take turns about who is going to take charge of any given situation. I did a quick count of the numbers that are represented here, and when I am doing a reduction of numbers to find the essence of a reading, I do count the kings as 14. So here I have 14 plus 8 plus 10, which adds up to 32. And if I subtract 22 from 32, then I get 10. So this Wheel of Fortune is really important here in this reading. Letting go is what's coming through for me here. And I might not necessarily use that keyword with the Wheel of Fortune, but there's something here about the ebb and flow of life, learning to rise and learning to fall. The King of Baton is sometimes at the top, and sometimes the King of Baton needs to fall down and step back and take their turn behind the scenes and be in the supporting role. I feel that there's something critical here for this relationship. And so I'm not going to say any more here today because I want to speak to the querent and find out how they might respond to this idea of power being a problem in the relationship. They may both be too headstrong here, and this is something that can be really, really difficult. So, very interesting cards for this couple. Okay, this second couple have not been together for very long either. And this question is regarding a different sort of energy level between one member of the partnership and the other. So one is extremely active and the other is quite enjoying that. They have said it is good for them. However, there is a concern that the active person will never slow down, or it will be a one-sided relationship, that the active person may not grow into their receptive side. So they have reached out and asked how the tarot might look at this relationship. And we have the Tower. Status quo is shifting. There is a need to see things differently. The Queen of Cups gazes toward the Six of Pentacles and toward the Tower. And I feel that the Queen of Cups is looking at this person here falling. There's something intent, almost like their eyes are part of the action. She's gazing beyond her cup to something that's going on in the distance. And maybe the energy of the cup has something to do with the whole scene, the whole picture. It's like the magic cup is full of bright and divine energy, and she can somehow spread that and share that across this painting, across this picture. But the first card as the Tower, I don't want to jump to the conclusion that this relationship is doomed to fall, doomed to break up, but rather that both of the couples are going to need to learn to give and take. And how very interesting that we have the Six of Coins here. Very practical suit, matter of fact. So in day-to-day life, this couple will need to learn about reciprocity and finding peace in the material world. Now, of course, all of these plans and busyness and activity and action is done in the material world. And yet, it's almost as if the Queen of Cups is sending some special power through that Six of Coins. And with this arrangement with the four coins in the center and this shape here, it's like there's a cross in the center. Four as foundation, individuals, both being protected in their individuality. I can see these leaves around the single coins as strength and protection for who each of them are. With the Reine de Coupe looking so intently at this picture, listening is going to be very important. And I wonder if part of the status quo breakdown is in what others expect a relationship to be. So if you come from traditional families that expect a couple to move in a certain way, do things at certain times, certain milestones to be passed, that you're listening to each other with an intention of building peace and harmony and give and take. It's about finding comfort with the way that each of you want this relationship to be. It need not be something that looked like a perfect marriage for your parents or some other people you may be comparing yourselves to. I find that the tower often shows up when we are concerned about how other people are perceiving us. And then my historical mindset wanders to the Tower of Babel and what I said about listening and the Queen of Cups. So, language, words, all of that is going to be very important, that you learn to communicate, that nothing is held back, that you find a way to share and make space for each other's needs. I'd say with the 6 in the center, it's grounded and it's harmonious and it's peaceful and it's beautiful and it's practical all at the same time. And then what is on the outside is a reminder that these challenges will be with you probably for some time until you find a way to both be comfortable. If I count the Queen as 13 and figure out the essence of this reading, I get death. And death has, I mean, both the Tower and the Death as cards coming up in a relationship don't look very positive. And I think this speaks so importantly to being crystal clear about your vision for the future and taking time to do all of this now while you are still early in the relationship. How would you like to grow your life together? And take time to discuss the important details, that all of the little quirks, all the little things that have brought you to ask me this question. I also feel that the Queen of Cups is a mentor to both of you and a quality that lies within both of you. If you both allow her to shine through, that this whole process will be a lot easier. I look forward to sharing this with you and taking this a step further when I meet you in person. Thank you. This question is kind of an indirect way of finding out if the person I am presently with is the person who I will be with for an indefinite period of time. And so, this couple, one member of this couple, is asking Spirit to describe their lifelong partner. And I think she is hoping that the cards that come up will perfectly match their energy. Ace of Cups. Well, that's a beautiful card for a relationship. It feels like this is a card of opportunities and an openness to relationship. And I am amazed that in the first 2 readings, it just felt really comfortable to lie the cards down 1, 2, 3. Very different than I usually do. And I just really needed to put this particular card in the center. And this is something that, as a reader, I need to trust where I put the cards down. And of course, I can move them around and look at them in different ways. But there's something about the whole picture that gets created on the table. So what do we have here? We have an 8 and we have a 7. And first thing that comes to mind is that axis on the tree of life of Venus and Hod, 7 and 8, balancing each other through the energy of the moon, perhaps. I have learned so much in working with the tree of life, and I can't not see that layer. But let's look at this in other terms here. So we have Eight of Cups. We have the couple in the center, and then we have three below and three above. And there's lots of bloodlines, it looks like to me, connecting and weaving. It looks very intricate. It looks like there are a lot of connections, perhaps through. I want to go back to the whole karmic thing. Like, this is a couple that is connected through various lines and paths, and they are supposed to be together. But that wasn't the question. The question was, how does Spirit describe my lifelong partner? That they are one who is giving. And I don't know why this card makes me think of family, or that I'm really drawn to this two in the center, that the couple is most important. That if these are all family members on either side of this couple, that they are, they're central. And so this partner sees you, sees this relationship as the basis of all of the other people that are in the periphery of your lives, of your life. Does that make sense? So you are a priority. Your partnership, your relationship is a priority. And I would say that they're willing to give, they're willing to listen, they're willing to shift energy. Aces are, it's not very often, I think, that you find an adult later in life that is open, flexible in this department. I would say they're a very sensitive person as well. Wands. So we have water and fire, harmonizing each other, balancing each other. And if I look at this in terms of elements, I wouldn't necessarily place these elements with that planetary or Sephiro association I was applying earlier. But what I'm seeing here, if this was the Venus side and this was the um, Mercury side, the Hod side, then these are reversed. And it shows me that the relationship, that each of the members of the relationship carry qualities of the other, so that the masculine side carries feminine qualities and the feminine side carries masculine qualities, that the fire and water is indeed balanced. This feels like a really strong card. We have also with sevens, there is a, I wanted to, the word March came to mind. Um, and this almost to me looks like a parade. There's an X, as there is with all Wands cards in the Tarot de Marseille. There is an X, well, most of them anyway. There's an X, but this feels so important, this seventh wand. It's like you each have your own. Okay, let's do this. So here's three, and here's three. Here's three, and here's three. And here, you two are united. And yes, there is something dividing you, but it feels like you're in this protective union here. And what I'm seeing in the Seven of Baton is that this is both of you. So this single wand is the two of you. So these two cups become this wand, and you stand together. And so if you're asking about describing your partner stands for you. He wants to stand together with you, recognizing that you come from different paths, you each have different strengths, and in abundance for sure, but this just feels really important, this single wand here. How can I say this differently? Your lifelong partner values you standing together, marching forward together. And I was thinking chariot energy. I was thinking the idea that sevens move away from the six. There's a bravery with the sevens as well, too. This is a seven of fire, so there's purpose, there's path identity. And really interesting, if I do the essence of this reading and add these three cards together, it's 16. So we have the Tower again, like in the last relationship question. I feel that there's a theme among the three readings here today, that each of these couples would benefit from empowerment as a unique couple, that doing things their own way, allowing expectations, allowing the status quo to fall away so that they can march to their own drum, so that they can do things the way that makes sense for them, not the way the family expects things to go or the friends. And I'm not sure how this mood fits into what's going on astrologically right now, but it feels like there's a real calling to personalizing how your relationship works and being completely comfortable with it. So, specifically, you asked, how does Spirit describe my lifelong partner? Your lifelong partner stands for love. Your lifelong partner stands for the value of the couple, the path of the couple, the purpose of the couple. Your lifelong partner recognizes that there's a lot that's going on in your lives, and the most important thing is the couple themselves, that you stand together, united in your relationship. This has been really interesting today. I look forward to your feedback, and let me know if you have any different or additional insight to any of these readings. Thanks for being here. Take good care. Namaste.